Welcome to the Pioneer Sideline. I'm your host, Chris Hoffman, here on episode 160, the longest running show here on UView, coming to you from the University Center on campus. And we're going to jump in right here early here as the men, they were in action this past week, and they were playing Berea College in their KIAC matchup. We're going to take you out to CCAC South here. Pioneers need to get something going here. They're only sitting 6-7 in the conference. They need to get themselves back into the KIAC picture here. As there we see them warming up there in the huddle. And then who's going to get it started here? Well, let's take a guess here. TJ Hetherington, that's who. He's going to bring it in. Give it off to Gabe McNeil. And Gabe McNeil, who else? Banks in. Now it's coming back now with McNeil, and he's going to give it off to Nazca for three, and that's going to be TJ at the other end of that three. Now Berea's going to get back. Garmin, he doesn't need a GPS to find that hoop. He's got his Garmin, and he's going to get the nice stealing in. Now Beckham. Bend it like Beckham for three, and it's going to go in Berea's favor. Now the Pioneers come back here after the Webster dunk. Well, authority there, but Bab Samoy, he's seen enough of that. He throws it down for the Pioneers, and then it's going to be the TJ Hetherington show. For three, TJ Hetherington, and it just keeps going. If TJ isn't scoring points, he's helping earn them. Bab Samoy at the other end of this nice little pass, and he banks it off and in. Nice. Then TJ Hetherington to Josh Polott for three. Josh Polott, the last person you expect to take a three, and he drills it, making it look simple as the Pioneers come away victorious in that one, 110-97. TJ Hetherington ties his career high with 42 points, and you see a bunch of other Pioneers getting in there. McNeil with 14, Samoy with 12, Polott 16. Pioneers go up to 13-9 on the season, 7-7 in conference. We're going to bring in men's analyst here, Kyle Anthony. And Kyle, how big is for the Pioneers to get themselves back into the winning ways, back to 500 in conference, with just the conference tournament coming up here in a few weeks?
It's really big for them because it allows them to get a higher seed going into the tournament, and it boosts their confidence a little bit because they've been playing under 500 since the IU East game.
Kyle, the Pioneers there, we saw a lot of scoring. TJ Hetherington ties his career high in points there with 42, almost ties the school record of 45, held by assistant coach Gabe Boubon. But we see there the Pioneers, they definitely got it done. TJ, he's always that big big force to be reckoned with, and we saw it again on Saturday.
Yeah, TJ Hetherington had a great game. I mean, there's some players that got in foul trouble early, and he had to kind of carry the team, and he did his part scoring his 42 points, but he also helped distribute the basketball and draw defenders to him so other players had opportunities to score.
Now we're going to take a look at the standings here for the Pioneers as they're sitting in the middle of the pack here in the KIAC, trying to get some separation before the playoffs start. They definitely want to establish themselves as a contender here in the KIAC. The Pioneers sitting in that middle of the pack. Once again, we see their IU Southeast leading the way, 21-4. IU East behind them, Asbury, Cincinnati Christian, Berea, who the Pioneers just defeated. Now you look at Point Park, they're sitting behind Berea. How big is it for them to have defeated a Berea team that was sitting ahead of them in the standings in this KIAC here, Kyle?
It's a big thing for them because it's going to allow them come tournament time to maybe get a higher seed over them, and it also gives them some confidence knowing they can beat these teams at a higher rank.
And we also saw them beat Cincinnati Christian last week, basically along the same lines, beating teams that are ahead of them, as well as Asbury. So definitely a lot of confidence, and we saw them compete well against an Indiana East team here, Kyle. So how confident should the Pioneers be moving forward into the KIAC tournament here in just a week and a half away?
Well, they should be extremely confident themselves because they have beat some really good teams, and even the IU East, the second IU East game, which they lost, they played very well and had a lot of chances to win that game and separate.
Yeah, the Pioneers, definitely a very hard-fought game there indeed when they went up to IU East, losing in the final seconds there. But you look at this team here, Kyle, and the one thing that still scares me here is the defense. Still, we see they win 110, but they still give up 97 points there. 97 points, not something you want to do too consistently. What do they need to do on the defensive side of the ball?
Defense, they just need to play more consistent. I mean, there's been times where this team has actually shut people down defensively for short periods of time. They just need to do it more consistently, and they need to take their responsibilities. This team, sometimes you'll see them have 5 guys go to the same ball instead of staying on their man, being aggressive, and getting a little physical.
You mentioned physical play. Bab Samoy, a very physical player in the down low post there. We saw a big presence of him on Saturday. But you also noticed Josh Polott, when Bab Samoy wasn't there, how big is it for Polott to be able to come in, take Bab Samoy's position when he's not able to be on the court?
It's really big because they haven't really got much bench scoring this year. I mean, we've seen some from Asa Braxton, but not really that second person coming off the bench. Now, it helps that Josh Polott was able to put up 16 points and played very well. So it's definitely relieving to know that at times you can pull Bab Smoy or even Matt Nosk out of the game.
And the one player I have to keep going to, we mention him every week, Gabe McNeil. He's made such an impact on his team. Only 14 points this past weekend, but a big 14 points. He's someone we've seen a lot of consistency from. That's one of those other hybrid players the Pioneers have where he can shoot the three but drive into the lane. How big is it for the Pioneers to have someone of his capabilities?
It's really big because it takes some of the pressure off TJ Hetherington from having to score a lot of points every game. So, I mean, it's really good to have that second score.
And the Pioneers here, well, they're going to have a few more games coming up. But when we come back, we're going to talk about the women's basketball team and see how they did this past weekend. We're going to bring in Tim Hardy. Don't go away. You're watching UView.
Brittany.